we got to call the meeting to order, and we'll salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence for the sick and deceased. Okay, guys, we want to get this meeting rolling. Tonight's just about the floodplain. No other business will be taken up. And I want to turn the meeting over to Mr. O'Rourke.
I'm going to call the roll first.
Okay.
President Lesher,
Right here.
Vice President Williams,
Here.
Mr. Muser, I'm here, Mrs. Camara, Mrs. Pray, Mrs. Vanauken,
Here.
Mr. Brundage, Mayor Blue, Mr. Rodriguez,
Here.
Mr. McLean, Ms. Smith,
Here.
and me here. There's a quorum.
Okay, we got a quorum. We need to take public comment about the floodplain.
Yes, we have one item
Public
on
comment.
the
Go
I
ahead.
don't care. Wait a minute. I want to know who wrote the article in the newspaper. Because this article in the newspaper is wrong. We never received a copy of the ordinance in full text. This says we have a copy of the ordinance in full text. Will be available on Friday. I came Friday, no ordinance. I came Monday, no ordinance. I came Tuesday, I got an incorrect ordinance, the one I already had. Now, there is no ordinance for the public to review. That is a violation right there of the Sunshine Act and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So this meeting, anything that's said or done is illegal.
Thank you, Mr.
The council needs to be aware of it. It's illegal, and I will charge it as an illegal meeting. We had one on August the 17th, one illegal meeting. We notified the solicitor because of being illegal.
Okay, thank
I am
you.
not going to be charged, or my husband, again, about having meetings that aren't proper.
Thank you. Anybody else got any public comment
Here,
about
Wes,
the
I had
floodplain? Ms. Brown, you're not a resident, and you're not to speak or do anything here, okay? You cited enough trouble in this community, and we're going to go to...
Mr. Lesher, Darby and
You're out of
Colwyn
order.
share the
You're
same
out of order.
floodplain
You're out of
and
order.
share the same watershed, and I am raising an objection. This is an open public meeting, and I have a right to ask questions. If you are going to alternate your floodplain, it affects my town and my tax dollars.
No, we did not.
I am raising an objection. I would like to speak.
You're not to speak, Ms. Brown.
Mr. O'Rourke is the interim borough manager. I'd like his opinion since he's a lawyer.
I think that it's a public meeting, and the practice has been to allow anyone to make comment, but there is a public comment period, 5 minutes per person, and that's when the person can make a comment. There's no obligation on the part of council to answer questions.
Okay.
I would like to know what the changes are and your changes that you drafted, Mrs. Williams, because the floodplain ordinance that was given to the borough was drafted by Leslie Rhodes, who was selected by the state to issue the updated floodplain ordinance. And that was what was recommended for every municipality in this area. And there are changes in this proposed ordinance that I would like to know who decided what they are and for what reason. Because if you adopt the wrong ordinance, Colwyn is not eligible for any federal disaster relief money. And that affects Darby, that affects Southwest Philadelphia, that affects everyone in this watershed.
I would like to...
I am not asking Mr. Rodriguez. I'm asking you, Mr. Lesher, and Mrs. Williams, since you two are the ones that drafted the changes. I already know what Mr. Rodriguez's answer is. I'm asking why you changed it from 25% to 50%. I'd like to know why, because that affects Darby, Southwest Philly, and everyone in this watershed. What is the reason for that? Do you know what the 25 and the 50% are for?
The suggested changes that were requested by Ms. Williams were submitted to Mr. Rodriguez and to Mr. McLean for them to pass through and to get Leslie Rhodes to review.
Leslie Rhodes actually made the language revision.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Leslie Rhodes made the language revision based on Patricia Williams' concern. And the language of this ordinance does not affect the other community.
What is the reason why it went from, you raised it from 25% of the homeowner's value of their home to 50%? What is your concern?
If you are a Colwyn resident, I would answer.
It does affect other communities because Keystone Avenue, 7th Street, and Colwyn Avenue both share homes that are half in Colwyn and half in Darby.
The ordinance will only affect the people in Colwyn.
And, right, because Darby will have to now take over if you get denied federal disaster relief, we'll have to take care of Colwyn, like we've done before. So what is your reasoning? What is your qualifications to raise it from 25 to 50%?
What is your address?
206 Highland Avenue, Darby, Pennsylvania. And right now, my tax dollars are funding the borough of Colwyn, as well as everyone in the state of Pennsylvania. So, what are your qualifications? You have no qualifications? Fine.
Quality of time, so.
Patricia Williams raised a concern, but it was Leslie Rhodes who wrote the language. So she wrote it knowing that it would meet FEMA's requirements.
Leslie Rhodes
Leslie Rhodes
wrote the language,
Yes.
and they changed it, and you had to bring it back.
No, Leslie-
Well, how come the original copy that it was sent to me on March 26th said 25%? Now, all of a sudden, it has 50%.
Yes, it was changed by Leslie Rhodes.
Okay. So what are the changes that Colwyn made then?
I just told you, Patricia Williams was trying to put a little bit more burden or trying to make sure that the property owner, if they have repetitive loss, would be more responsible for doing the entire property for meeting the current ordinance. So if you, by changing it slightly to do the way it says cumulative instead of the average, it just helps the impact of if a property does meet repetitive loss criteria, that it has the following ordinance. So she raised the issue, and Leslie Rhodes, knowing what her concern was, she changed the language for that, and then the solicitor reviewed it just to make sure it wasn't vague or ambiguous.
I understand that.
So it was FEMA's coordinator who raised and changed the language.
But the onus now, the burden is going on the homeowner because it's going up to 50% of their home value instead of 25. That's her concern, was that it's now got to be cumulative, correct? So the burden now is on the homeowner, not so much the borough.
The burden is always in all of the all of the claim insured people will be paying no matter what for somebody who wasn't in a floodplain property, right? So the repetitive loss right now actually put more burden on all of the people who pay the claims, because you're constantly paying them to fix something and not actually need to make it meet their ordinance.
So what's the language that was changed then? It's not the 25 to 50%?
It's changed.
That's their change, from 25 to 50%.
That was FEMA's
Okay,
change.
I have no more
That was
questions.
FEMA's change.
Okay. Well, then what was her change?
She raised the question if FEMA changed it.
If FEMA changed it.
Well, the FEMA coordinator, Leslie Rhodes, yes.
I
The language was
made
directed
no
from-
changes to the ordinance,
Right.
none.
Oh, you made no
She
changes.
only,
No.
Patricia only made a request to look into what the repetitive loss definition was, and Leslie Rhodes made the change. Patricia did not write the language, I didn't write the language, the solicitor didn't write the language, she wrote the language.
Okay.
Because we wanted to make sure that she was going to give us something that would be in compliance with FEMA.
So Leslie Rhodes raised it from 25 to 50%. because of her concerns, or everyone's is raised from 25 to 50? All municipalities.
Not just Colwyn.
Okay.
This is only Colwyn's ordinance.
But they sent a mock for all municipalities. So just Colwyn's was raised from 25 to 50% because of her
I
concern.
cannot speak for all the other communities. I
Okay.
don't know what every other community
Okay.
changes.
You got your 5 minutes of fame, Ms. Brown.
Just so it's on record that it was raised because of her concern. Okay.
I make a motion to adopt the floodplain.
I have one other question. You said there's no change.
I said I did not make a change.
Oh, well, they did make a change. Whoever gave the red copy made the change from engineer to borough administrator of Colwyn. That makes a difference. When does a borough administrator of Colwyn know what an engineer and a corps of engineers are?
No
You
borough.
can't tell me they're not.
No
Well, you
borough-
might not be using that, but this is what was given to us to read.
No borough administrator made a change to the
I
ordinance.
didn't say that. I'm saying the words in here say borough administrator.
Oh, okay,
The words.
all right.
Changed it from engineer to borough administrator. I want to know, where does the experience come from for a borough administrator, borough manager, or any borough employee over an engineer?
The
That's what I want to
The
know.
intent of that ordinance is not saying that the administrator of the borough or any other employee of the borough is actually doing the review. All it's saying is that they're the person who can direct who for the borough will be doing the review.
That's not what
And most
I read.
likely,
So, I'm
they
just
are-
saying, did you see
They
this
have
great
the
copy?
direction to give it to the borough engineer to review. It's not saying that they're doing the review.
Did you see this copy?
I saw the copy.
The right copy where they did all the changes? That's a serious offense.
It's not directing the borough manager or administrator to do the physical reviews. They have the direction to authorize the borough engineer.
We have to check.
We without a copy of what's going on? Or we don't get a
We
copy?
have a motion and a second. Will you call the council?
Yeah, full council.
Vice President Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Muser,
It's good for the borough, yes.
Mrs. Vanauken, President Lesher.
Yes.
4 votes and motion passes. Ordinance is adopted.
I make a motion to adjourn. I second.
Hey, anybody suggest?
So I got one thing for you. It's good for the borough. I was touch base with Mr. O'Rourke today about getting that money from
Yeah,
School district.
I Sharita called them,
Yeah,
Mr.
I was at the
Coffey.
meeting, one, you know.
Sharita called Mr. Coffey, Mr. Coffey didn't return the phone call
You
yet.
know, get that money, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate, stay on top of it,
I
because I
will.
got 9
No, I
million
don't like
things going
those.
right now. All right,
All in favor to adjourn?
yeah, let's go.
Great. Motion passes.
We never did it like this before.